boys and girls, welcome back to our very own reading corner. So today we're going to be reading a book called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. And I don't know what this book has for us, so let's just head on. Hundreds of years ago, a boy was given an important job to do while his parents worked. He was told to spend the days on a rocky hilltop near his village, guarding the family's flock of sheep. There were several dangers for the sheep if they wandered away from the flock. In winter, they could get lost in deep snow or fall over a cliff in thick fog. Occasionally, a daring thief would try to steal one for its valuable wool and meat. Sometimes a hungry wolf would come out of the nearby woods to hunt one for a feast. At sunset every day, the sheep were driven downhill into a wooden shed where they were sheltered from the weather and safe from any danger. Then the boy spent the evenings playing with his friends and relaxing at his home in the village. All through the long summer months, he watched the sheep calmly grazing without any trouble, but he found the job extremely boring. "Every day is exactly the same," he grumbled to himself. "I wish something exciting would happen. I need an adventure. I almost wish a thief or a wolf would come." As he sat on the hilltop, hour after hour, the boy dreamed of being a hero who did something brave. But every day passed slowly, without any challenges, until he finally decided to create some excitement for himself. He stood facing the direction of the village, cupped his hands around his mouth, and shouted in his loudest voice, "Wolf! Wolf! Help!" His cries were heard by the adults busy at their work. Immediately, the men grabbed weapons and raced up the hillside to rescue the boy and his flock. But when they arrived, there was no wolf in sight. After a thorough search was made, everyone agreed that the wolf had disappeared, so the danger had passed. Before returning to their work, they had told the boy to shout loudly for help if he saw any further sign of the wolf. When he was alone again, the boy laughed about what had happened. "That was so funny to watch," he chuckled to himself. "All those silly people searching busily for something that wasn't even there." He felt pleased that he had caused some excitement with the worried people rushing up the hill to hunt an imaginary wolf. Only 1 week later, the boy became bored again and remembered how he had enjoyed fooling those villagers who tried to help him. He repeated the trick, shouting downhill toward the village, "Help! Wolf! The wolf is back!" As he expected, there was a frantic rush of rescuers dashing up the hill, hoping to save the sheep. Just as the previous time, the boy was secretly amused to see the villagers' weapons and watch their unsuccessful efforts to find the non-existent wolf. When he tried to hide a sly smile, some people noticed and became suspicious, questioning him angrily. His answers were to confess with a grin, "I fooled you just like that last week. There were never any wolf at all. It was only a joke." All the men were astonished that the boy had dared to call them away from their important work for such a silly trick. "You are wicked to waste our valuable time," said one man. "Don't expect us to ever help you again," grumbled another. "You needn't bother repeating that nasty trick," a third man shouted as they left the hillside. "We are much too busy to answer your smart calls." The boy didn't say he was sorry because he still thought it was harmless fun. However, a few weeks later, the boy could hardly believe his eyes when he spotted a large wolf creeping out of the woods, stalking the fattest sheep. As it came toward the flock, the boy screamed to the villagers, "Wolf! Wolf! Help!" His loud, desperate cries were heard clearly by the men, but they immediately thought that was another of the boy's senseless jokes, so they continued working. "How can he try that false alarm again?" the villagers asked each other in amazement. "He can't expect us to believe him for a third time." While the usual work continued in the village, the wolf caught the sheep he was stalking. There was nothing the boy could do except to save the rest of the flock by rounding them up and driving them downhill to the safety of the night shelter. When the villagers heard what had happened, they told the foolish boy that the sad loss of his valuable sheep was at his own fault. They hoped he had learned a lesson. People who lie and play tricks will not be believed, even when they do tell the truth. For hundreds of years, everyone who ever heard the story has remembered that it is unwise to ask for help unless it is really needed. There is a well-known saying, "Don't cry, wolf." Because there's this word power thing that says, give definitions for. I think this should be one of your questions. So, it could be an activity instead of really being a question. So, let's do pick 2 of these activities. So, out of all of them, I'll read. Give definitions for all these words. You'll see. List at least 5 adjectives in the text. So, from the text that we read, list at least 5 adjectives. Write synonyms for these words, and then how many compound words can you find in the text, in the story? And add a suffix, basically ly, to these words to form adverbs. So you can choose 2 of these activities to do at home, and once you guys are done, you guys can make sure that your parents check it just to make sure your work is right. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So this video was actually about a lesson that I know I've actually heard of this lesson before. My mom told me. So basically, you should not say help. You should not ask for help when you don't need it, because when you do need it, you will never get it. So I have my second question is, because I already asked my first one. My second question is, what is that saying that the people had made that told the thing you should not say? What was that saying they said in the end? Do you guys remember? Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash that like and subscribe if you guys want more of these videos, and I'll see you guys next time.